Hello, and welcome to Rosa Laura. If this is your first time with us, then it's so wonderful to meet you. And if you're returning, it's so great to have you back. My name is Rosa, and I am a digital artist. Today, I'm going to be working on an art of someone very special to me, which is to say, it's my character. This is Semovai Sinolin, High Cleric of Fania, who I was commissioned to draw for a little vampire AU. Now, I think that being commissioned to draw your own character for anything, but especially for a really indulgent AU, is one of the greatest compliments that you can be given as an artist. So I'm honestly really flattered that I was commissioned to do this piece, and it really lit a fire under me to do as good a job as possible when putting together this piece of Semovai. Now, when going to design the new look for the character, I wanted to do something that was fun and campy. The original reference or inspiration that I was going from is this beautiful Elvira poster in these neon yellows and purples, these beautiful purples that I have linked down in the description. If you like Elvira, that artist has that print for sale. I got to take some really awesome inspiration from it. I based my pose off of it. I got like sort of my base skeleton from it. So if you want to support that artist and you like what they do, please go and support them. But I took, this idea, this pose, and made it my own with Semovai. But the inspiration that I was able to get had all these beautiful colors. It was very classic, sort of campy vampy is what I want to call it. And my client really wanted me to also get that feel with my approach to Semovai in this painting / art piece of her. Something different about this commission from the others that I have put up is that a lot of the big commissions that I have posted don't have lines. They are what I would call a lineless render. I have a sketch, and then that sketch gets color put under it. I end up usually turning the lines into an overlay layer, and then I kind of blend everything together, shade and detail. So it's not as if the individual shapes are undefined. Hopefully they are defined, but there's no line work. I used to do a lot more line work a couple years ago, and then when I sort of fell into the rabbit hole of doing a whole lot of rendering, I will say my line work kind of fell by the wayside. As an artist, it can be really easy to get really swept up in the new techniques and ideas that you discover, and you can become so obsessed with them. And doing something that required a lot of lining was a really nice change of pace. All of the detailing on the laces of the boots, the sort of filigree faux pattern on the sides of the jacket, and all of the lines that go into her hair were a really wonderful challenge that I would 100% do again. The other thing about making sure that the lining looks good is you have to have varying degrees of line weight. So as I go through this piece, you'll see me sort of going over different sections of the lines, reinforcing them, doubling them, and really making sure that there's variation between the sections so that everything seems well defined one to the other. I know that that's going to be important because otherwise things aren't going to scan properly when you're looking at it. I just put in the words on the gravestone a couple moments ago, and it says, if you missed it, "Here lies High Cleric Semovai Sinolin. May..." See, now I'm leaning in to read it, actually. "May she fly on Fania's wings." Semovai is a High Cleric of Fania. As mentioned, she is also an ASMR. I know, I'm saying that word wrong. Technically, it is Azamar. No, Azamar is how people say it, Azamar. But for me personally, I like the sound of ASMR a lot better. I think just because ASMR sounds like ass. I never really gelled with the pronunciation of that word. But if you disagree with me, let me know. I'll be okay. If you agree with me, we can be ASMR believers together. And we believe in the power of not saying ass, I guess. Not that Semovai doesn't have one. Obviously, you can see her hip looks lovely. I hope that I have showcased her well. After all, this is supposed to be in a more classic pinup style, and it was so much fun to put together, from the line work, making sure that everything worked correctly. I worked with the client specifically on her expression, making sure that she had this sort of coy, I'm looking at you, I'm gonna come get you sort of look. As well as all the really bright colors. Once I start getting the flats in and then start working with the highlights and the shadows, you can see that I'm actually going to be incorporating a fair amount of pink into that layer of Add Glow. I love the Add Glow layer on CSP. It is my best friend. She's got this little jewel on her brooch, and you can see that first little taste of pink, where I'm like, ooh, that looks really good. Let's work with that a little bit more. I wanted Semovai to look campy and vampy, having a really good time, even though I think that in the AU she would really hate being a vampire. Being a vampire, that we kind of decided within the space of this AU, would make it so that she wouldn't have her cleric powers anymore. She would be cut off, and that would be extremely upsetting for her personally. As I work on the hair, there's something about this that screams Monster High to me in a way that I love. I guess it reminds me of Frankie Stein a little bit, but if her hair was like, pink instead of black and white. Even though Semovai's hair is that white silver color, I just couldn't resist myself. I love playing with color in places where it shouldn't be. So as I finish up, I hope that you are having an amazing day. I'm putting this up on Halloween. So if it's Halloween, happy Halloween! If it isn't Halloween for you right now, I hope that you have a little bit of an extra spooky day. And here she is. As you can see, we went with a sort of dotted comic book overlay in the corners and a light sort of dotted overlay over the whole piece. I love how vibrant and exciting it looks, and I think that it really does look a bit glam. Thanks to my patrons who help me make art, but especially Banjo, Confocal Clips, and Dietor. They are awesome. And thanks for watching. You're also part of this. If you like what I do, hit subscribe. Hit that like button. There will be more on the way soon. And of course, if you want, you can support me on Patreon. I do want to let you know, it's all gonna be okay. And I'll see you next time.